What's good, 9197 gamers? This is your boy Tyler 9197, Man of God 9197, yes Lord, Black Wolf 9197 or 9197, back with another video for y'all. And this time you guys can see this is different. This is not a regular stream like we usually do, or by the time you watch this is a pre-recorded video of me and my boy Sensei Tune, which I will introduce to it in a second, because y'all gonna see this man live, like on camera, his black mug. Go see the black man. But before I do that, I just want to say, y'all, like, this is a new mini series that me and Sister 2 are gonna do. It's called Paladins Bros Talk. So what it is, it's gonna be an episodic mini series where we just gonna talk about paladins and just talk about different topics about the game. And so, but this is something that's not gonna happen as much, just because it's just gonna be like every once in a while, just during just content after content after content, then boom, this video, boom, that video. But this one you're gonna see a little bit more frequent, because this is gonna be a 4-part series for episode 1, which you're gonna see. It's like we talk about every character in the game. So the way it works is that, like, so me and Sensei Tune, we're gonna talk about the front line, damage, flank, and support. But to break the work of it, because it's so much, like, so many characters for each role, so I'm gonna take on tanks and support, and Sensei Tune gonna take on damage and flank. But the way how overall we're gonna talk about each character, the way we're gonna do it is we basically just gonna go by like a 5-rule thing, talk about the characters. So the way how we're gonna talk about each character in the game is just talk about, like, do the character need a buff, do they need a nerf, no change, rework, or quality of life. That's how we're gonna talk about each character. And then once we're done for like the roller for me, because I'm gonna talk about the front line, the tanks. So once I'm done with that, I'm probably gonna pick one character out of the tank role and talk about who I feel like is good for a newcomer who want to play Paladins, who never played Paladins, like a good start character if they want to play that role, kind of thing. And that's gonna be it for the video once we start that, because like I said, because this is part 1, I'm gonna talk about Frontline, which the tanks, so it's gonna be a lot of me talking. But now, let me go ahead and introduce the man, the myth, the legend, the black man y'all all love in those streams, my boy Ronan Sensei Tune. Go ahead and show yourself, Ronan Sensei Tune. Y'all, there you go, y'all. There you go. The man, the myth, the
Wagwan. What's up, my guy? What's up with the chat? Appreciate you for having me, your light-skinned bumper clat, your Chipotle bag. You know how it goes.
Yo, luckily he can't see me, but I can see his black buff, so it don't matter.
we here.
Look,
We here.
I can do like yeah, he can't
Yeah.
see nothing. He can't see nothing.
Y'all see the games?
Man, nobody care, man. The weak muscles.
Still get body slammed. Don't hit him with an RKO.
y'all, he acting like that. Look, y'all, if we had a fight for real, I will fight this dude. I don't care. He's my brother, but this man always be talking. He ain't doing nothing.
Yes, sir. We back with another one. I think this series is gonna be dope, though. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Yeah, they see me on here first time, like,
Yep. And then
you give my man the 50 followers.
All right. And do you got anything to say before we get started with my tank list? Like, you understand, like, how it works?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the list right now. Yeah, we just gonna let you get right into it. We're gonna go ahead and get it going.
All right, cool. All right, y'all. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna talk about each tank in alphabet, whatever, what I'm trying to say, in order. Just say in order, because I ain't gonna mess it up. Yeah, talk in order. So the way, so the first tank I'm gonna talk about in the game, or Frontline, but I say tank, it's just easier to say it, even though Frontline, same thing. The first tank,
Bonnet Tune in the building. My fault.
Y'all see this, man? It's all good though. All right. So the first tank I'm gonna talk about is Ash. So for out of being like buff, nerf, no change, rework, and quality of life, for Ash, for me personally, I would say Ash is a no change character, because I feel like Ash, the way how she plays for her, just her abilities, just what she can do and provide as team for as a tank. She can pretty much do it all. Like she's just a all around character, and she can work in most situations than most tanks. But of course, because she's more of an off tank, you got to keep in mind, like you got to figure out how to really work with your team depending who they play and how Ash it could make it work. But overall, like she is just a solid tank. And honestly, I really don't have much to say about her as far as like what else do her, because really no change. Like she's almost a perfect tank, even though there's no really no such thing as a perfect tank. But she's just really solid, like just like that.
Hmm.
Got anything to say about Ash Sensei too? But
But yeah, I agree with you with Ash because, like you said, like she's like a good like all around tank. Especially how she can like buy us cover to back out if we need to, but then she can also help push us forward. Especially like where her ult, like her certain dominance ult, she can leap forward. And if you have like a good flank or damage behind that can just follow up with you, like I mean, she can like cover a lot of like space real quick. And that shield, oof, that's a good covered shield too. So
okay,
yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. I
okay,
think
no,
Ash
no,
is like
look at
a
no
good all
change.
around.
Don't feel
No
like
changes
yeah,
there.
you feel like nothing. Okay, okay.
Hmm.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's how I kind of feel too. I feel like Ash, even though y'all, like I say, I am a tank main in the game, so I mean, some characters I am a little more biased. Like I said, Ash, I'm a little more biased with, but at the same time, I feel like what I'm saying is fair too. So just let y'all know. But overall, Ash, I feel like she's just a solid character. Really no change. Like she perfect how she is. All right. So the second tank I want to talk about is Atlas, the Time Man. So, Atlas. So, what I had wrote down for Atlas is Atlas needs a slight rework on his primary fire, and he needs a quality of life change. So, the reason why I say that for Atlas is because Atlas, I understand that he is the hardest tank in the game. Technically, as far as
Hmm.
like technical, like because everything in his abilities is based on time, so you gotta really basically like have people say you gotta play like 40 chess playing Atlas, like you gotta really know what you're doing, which is fine. Cause I'm fine with a character that is like you gotta learn how to play him, because like not every
Hmm.
I don't feel like every character gotta be like just so simple that anybody can play that character kind of thing. Like I mean, there should be some character that takes skill, which he takes skill.
Hmm.
But the reason why I say he needed rework on his primary fire, because I look at this as a tank main. I feel like I feel like Atlas don't provide as much damage as he need to kind of almost not just
Yeah.
not necessarily for him like like secure the kill per se, like every time, but like when you look at it as like in a team base, right? I feel like his shots are like more like burst shots, but it's not consistent. And then he have a charge shot that it's like you're not gonna use all the time because your enemies, depending who they're playing, is going they're gonna
Hmm.
jump you.
That's true.
And
That's true.
the best way to really play Atlas when he plays is just you do your, I think it was like stasis field, which is basically like it blocks projectiles, or he uses to rewind and stuff like that. But I feel like his primary fire need to be like, they need to rework it a little bit. It's easier for you to hit your shots, hit the enemies, do some damage. So you can do all the damage so your team can follow up on that, and they can take care of the kills and stuff.
True.
And then over reason I say like quality of life change for him is just because I feel like Atlas, like with the way he plays, actually, matter of fact, I know big reason why I say quality of life change is because his ultimate. Because if
Hmm.
you ever see Atlas Ultimate, I feel like it's a strong, but it's like to me personally, probably like the one of the weakest ultimates in for tanks. Is
Mm.
because all it does is like you just stop somebody in place in time. Which that's not a
Hmm.
bad idea. Like it could be strong if you look at it that way. But the reason why I say I feel like it's weak is because when you look at it, you stop a character, but you're not doing anything with it. Like it's to me, I feel like the way these should kind of change that ultimate a little bit. It's like if you stop somebody, it should be like kind of like a effect, like you know how you stop somebody in time, and then you say like if you was playing like a damage character, bro, and you was shooting at the enemy that I stopped in time, right? It should be a effect like kind of like think of it like you know how like Flash, you know how he moves so fast in the Speed Force, and say like he punches somebody multiple times until the Speed Force is done, and then they feel the effect. I feel like Atlas should be something similar like that, where he stops somebody in time. Say like you can put some damage on a character, and once it's done, it's gonna do like a burst, like kind of like a burst attack, because you stopped them in time. And then when it's back to normal, it's like the enemy gonna feel all that damage, and they probably just gonna explode, something like that. I feel like that'd be a cool way to use his ultimate, because really Atlas ultimate is kind of just it's like I said, it's not weak, but it's kind of worthless in a sense. I feel like unless depending on the team comp that you have, but overall it's kind of weak for me. But that's how I feel like personally when it comes to Atlas. Do you have anything to say about
Heard
Atlas?
you say. I can agree with that. I can agree with that, especially his ult, but kind of like Zen's ult, like how he can single you out and then he holds you there and he does like his attacks.
Hmm.
Um, and so I could definitely see that. I can agree with the rework. Like some of his abilities are good, but like I think some of his abilities also isolates him too compared to some other tanks.
Hmm.
So it makes it hard for him to kind of bail out when he needs to. So yeah, I agree. I definitely do a rework with him a little, like just tweak him a little bit.
Yeah, because I feel like Atlas.
Hmm.
I feel like it's good that he's a hard tank to play. Because like I said, I don't want every tank to feel like it's just so easy to play and that like it's like there's no skill basically. No, like Atlas takes skill, which that's what I love about the character. But I just feel like that is the one thing that's kind of holding him back to be like effective tank. Like you know how me you run the game. Sometimes when I play tank. I don't necessarily care about the KD as much, but I do feel like I need to put some damage on some of these enemies. So for you to follow up to take these kills, I shouldn't feel like I'm doing less than everybody else, but my abilities are like, strong.
Makes
But
sense.
that kind of thing, like that's how I feel like with Atlas. But overall, I feel like he is a decent enough tank. But I feel like a little rework in his primary and just quality of life changes to make him a little bit easier to play, just a tad bit. I feel like he will go a long way, in my opinion, for
I
Atlas.
can see that. I can see that.
Okay.
Would you say he was a good like tank to start off with getting into Paladins
Oh
or?
no. Oh no.
Mhm.
No, 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 no. No, no.
Mhm.
Atlas is straight up a tank that you gotta take some time with. Like literally, like even no matter how I can play most tanks in the game, Atlas is one character that like I gotta take some time to learn. And even like some of the basic stuff, I kind of know how to play him a little bit. He's still hard to play, bro. Like he's literally, it's like you literally play 4D chess. It's like
Mhm.
you basically gotta expand your knowledge on time and how time works. That's how you gotta play Atlas. Because if you understand that, you'll be a lot more dangerous than people give you credit for playing Atlas. Atlas could like it's the reason why he's the hardest tank to play in the game. Well, to me, I'll probably say second, but I'll get to that character when I get to the character. But he's
That's a valid
definitely,
point.
but he's definitely like one of the hardest tanks in the game, and you really gotta take skill to play him. He's just not something you just pick up and that's it. Like no, you need to put like some time. Like it's like you gotta get in the reps
Yeah.
in playing
And
Atlas.
on your stripes.
Yeah, you got a box on there with Atlas.
That's no, that's a valid point. That's a valid point.
All right. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Now we done with Atlas. Now we're gonna go ahead and go to the next tank. So the next tank is gonna be Azaan, the character I started recently getting back to play the character. And honestly, for me, with Azaan, the only thing I can really say about that tank is he just need a quality of life change. To me personally, I feel like overall as a tank, he's solid. He's really a solid tank. Almost no change. The only thing I feel like why he needs a quality of life change is because Azan primary fire is so freaking slow, y'all. It is so slow. Like, because if you pay attention to how Azan works, his abilities are combo based. It's like if you play the character, it's like when he have his hammer as his primary fire, and he just throwing the hammer. It's like he do like a 3-shot attack, but it's like slow. I'm talking about like slow.
Mm.
It's it's bad because when you look at his rest of his abilities, because he got one that's more like a dash, or he can go up in the air or charge at an enemy. His other ability is one he could do like a ground slam with a hammer attack that
Hmm.
throws the enemy up in the air like a knockback. And on top of that, like, and then of course his shield is like kind of like the tombstones, which is fine. But it's like his primary is what is like, I feel like that hurts Azaan in my opinion because it's too slow. Like it just need just a slight tweak of like the speed of his primary
Okay.
fire. Because if they speed it up just a tad bit, bro, a song would be solid. Like to me, he would be like really solid. Like because it's like his combos, everything works fine. It's just that one thing, and I feel like it hurts a lot for the team too. Because think about it, like if we're fighting in the team combat and we fighting like some enemies wherever, say like if I'm fighting this one tank or whatever, and say that they almost close to being one tap, my
Hmm.
attacks are so slow. By the time you come through, you could probably take out the enemy tank before I do. Like that's how bad it
True.
is. It's really that bad. But all his other abilities that Azaan has, it's really solid. Well,
Okay.
as far as for his talents, I think probably two out of the three talents are solid. The other one is kind of a waste. But honestly, like I don't really care too much about that. I feel like his talents are solid enough. It doesn't matter. But for me, overall, Azan just need a quality of life and really just a primary fire that needs the little boost. And that's really just
Okay.
about it, honestly. But besides that, he's solid. Kind of like a no change, but just quality of life.
What's your go to? What's your favorite ability of his?
My favorite ability for Azan, I'll probably say his definitely like the ground slam move where he throws the hammer down, the do like the kind of like the knockback for the enemy team, like push them in the air because you can do your nice combos going. And then like I mean actually all his abilities honestly, well, probably the tombstone one I don't care too much about because I mean because it goes back to what I was saying, like it's like a combo, his abilities more like combo base. So it's like,
Yeah.
but everything else is solid, bro. Because you got the ground slam move. He do the charge, like, or if we need to escape, you can like go up in the air for a second, or charge at the enemy and push him by like a wall to do extra damage. And his ultimate is
Mhm.
like the most fun because you go up super high in the air and you just drop down, like doing like a superhero landing, like bah,
Or
it just go, it just go right, you just go right into the fight. Like that's kind of like my favorite thing about his abilities, but yeah, just more like a quality of life.
I agree with you. I agree with that. Yeah, I don't think he need too much of a change though.
Because overall,
Yeah.
like, I mean, he's a solid character. He definitely don't need buff. He definitely don't need no nerf. Like, in my personal
Mm-mm.
opinion, like he's solid. Like, just leave him where he's at, but just fits that one thing, bro. I'm telling you, if Evil Mojo just fits that one thing, bro. I think
Hmm.
Azan would be like top tier, like dead
So
serious.
if they
Like,
do that though, they increase that. They got to give him a little bit more of a cooldown.
yeah, I mean, I agree. Look, I feel like I'll take it more of a cooldown just for that alone, for him
Hmm.
having faster primary fire, because his tats are too slow for me. It's too slow, like, and it's not something I don't feel like what, because I never did try to use see Death Hands if it worked, but I don't think that's gonna work because it's not a gun. You know what I'm saying? It's just a regular him throwing the hammer like regular. So
Yeah,
so I
and
don't
that's
think.
just for reload
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
so it wouldn't
reload
make a
speed.
difference either
Yeah,
way.
because that's not really like a reload speed to use, so I don't think it's gonna
Hmm.
work. But man, I would say if they do that, a song would be going crazy in my opinion. But it's stupid. It's stupid.
Facts.
All right, all
No, I
right,
agree though. I agree.
all right. Now is going the next tank on the list is Barik, my favorite dwarf, the Torbjorn of Overwatch, but in Paladins.
Barik.
Barrett. So, what I had wrote down for Barrick, I wrote down that Barrick needs a slight buff in his primary fire, which I'm gonna explain more in a second. So just hear me out. Slight buff in his primary fire, but overall, no change. Like Barrett is straight up a solid tank. He really don't need no change at all. The reason why I said a slight buff to his primary fire is because the issue is with Barry, because if you look at his talents, right, he has one for his ultimate. He has one for the gun he used already to basically change it into a more like a mid to long range shot gun, like shot. like a shotgun. And
Mhm.
then his last one, the one I use the most, is like the stronger dome. Because I'm big on having shields more so than me having like a stronger gun, like more range, like as far as tank wise. But I feel like it's like the way they did Barik, it make it feel like you need to use his second talent, which is his buff gun,
Mm.
because that's what makes him more effective. Because I realize the more times I play Barik, no matter how good he is, because really, if you get your shield turret, that's the one you need to buff the strongest, because obviously,
Mhm.
that's part of his kit. That's what's going to help you in the fights. But his like bro his primary fire, if it's not the second talent that Barrett owns, he's kind of
Mhm.
weak. And
Mm.
honestly, that right there actually kind of cost me fights at times, just because he don't have that second talent. but
I see
but
what you're saying.
but the reason why I haven't started using the second talent until kind of now a little bit, because the problem with the second talent for Barrett to use for his buff gun is because, like, when he it's like, when you change it into his buff gun, you need aim, bro. Like, I'm saying, like
Mm.
like you gotta be like on point with your shots, because if you miss a
True.
shot, you miss your shot. But his regular primary without the second talent, you can get more shots and you can be a little more accurate to hit your shots. But the problem is, it feels weak. Me personally, I just feel like if it's not the second talent, I feel like if he uses like just the his base gun ability shots, I feel like if they just buff up the numbers just a little bit of how much damage it does, just a tad bit, like not too lot, not a lot, just a tad bit, Bear would be a lot more solid. Like, I mean, he's solid now, but I feel like that's the only thing that's kind of holding him back, unless he used that second talent. Which, like I said, the
Mm.
problem is you got to be accurate with your shots. If you're not, it kind of hurts you, and it's gonna hurt the team too. Because at that point, if you can't hit your shots, you can rely too much on your turret to do the job for you, kind of
There's
thing.
that's them turrets can get knocked pretty quick.
Oh yeah, because me, my
Super
loadout, I
quick.
buff those turrets hell, so it's like you're gonna take a minute to kill those turrets. But overall, that is like the big thing for me with Barrick. But overall, like, he's really a no change character. That's just the only thing I feel like they need to just buff a little bit, just primary fire, just for the other two talents. But as far for his second talent with the buff gun with the range, it's strong. He could get kills with it, but you gotta be accurate, and that's kind of like my big thing. Um,
That makes sense.
but besides that, gang, anything about Barrett for even with my plays? Because you see me play the character a lot now. So
Right, right. I think I wouldn't change Barrick at all. I agree. I wouldn't. I mean, even with his like the primary and things like that, because he has so many different ways to get the kill. I
mhm.
think that, or to get the
Yeah.
elimination. I don't think that it'll be like too much of a change with him. I think he's overall pretty solid. I think they took their time with him because he has double offense with
Mhm.
double defense on top of that too
Oh,
because of his
okay.
ult as well.
Okay, that's fair.
Hmm.
You see, y'all look, 62 ain't just a yes man. He's speaking facts. He gives it. I got my own view. He got his own view. Like, but that's what I
Yeah.
wanted though. That's what I want y'all to
Hmm.
see, because he wasn't just gonna be a yes man to everything I said. No, I want him to really think it, because he see me play these characters too. So he also
Right.
see on the other side too, when we go against the enemy tanks, he can see if they playing that same character. He see what they do. So I kind of see what you're saying right there. If that's the
Hmm.
case, like what you're saying, for me personally, I feel like if they're not gonna do a slight buff to like the primary fire, like you're saying, I feel like at
Yeah.
least the second talent should just be included in his base kit of his gun, and then they should switch that buff gun talent into maybe focus more on his other ability, the one that he when he runs away, like do something with that.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Like the rocket boots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the rocket boots. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the rocket boots.
Hmm.
They could probably use that as a talent and just change it like however it helps Barrett. I'll be down for that. If they're not gonna buff his base gun besides the second talent, if
Yeah.
they take the second talent and then just morph it into his primary, like that is how you play Barrett, and then add a whole new
Hmm.
talent, I'm down for that.
I
If
can
they,
see that. I can see that. Like, the second talent, like just using rocket boost for example, but like you said, like maybe it adds like reduced damage
Yeah,
for
of
like
course.
3 seconds or something when he's
Yeah,
running away or
yeah,
something like that.
exactly. Because I don't want to like the big thing with tanks. Because I would say so far for me personally, most of the tanks are really balanced enough in this game, and I don't want them to be like too buff. No matter if it's a bias or not, it's like I don't know. I
Hmm.
don't want to be too buff because you know how it goes with characters. If they buff and they're too annoying, guess what happens? It's gonna get a big nerf. And you know how that
Oh
goes.
yeah,
I don't need
and
that.
then it just breaks the balance of the
Yeah,
game, like
yeah,
Overwatch.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like, nah, I don't need no nerf for characters that I love playing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
Facts.
so fair points. I kind of like yours too. See, I like that. The combo rating.
Hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. That's a good
Yeah,
point. I like that. You got some good points for Barrett.
you get both perspectives.
Yeah, both respect. That's good. All
Hmm.
right. Now, this one, the next tank I'll talk about, this one might be a hot take. Just a tad bit. Not too crazy. But there's one tank in particular, once I get to him, it's gonna be a super hot take. Like very super hot take. But this one's
Mm,
kind of light. It's kind of light. But you're gonna
okay.
understand where I'm going with this one though. So the next tank we talk about right now is Fernando. It's Fernando. Ah!
Ah!
So y'all, so we're gonna talk
Hmm.
about Fernando. I'm gonna be for real with y'all. I'm gonna be real with y'all, okay? Like Fernando, he's not one of my top pick tanks, but I do play him quite a bit. I do play him in the game quite a bit. And I will say this about Fernando. Fernando probably hands down in the tank role has the best loadout out of all the tanks. His cards for his loadout are like literally like top tier. Like I really think it's like the best out of all the tanks. Like that's for real, for real. Because you got so many combinations you can do with loadouts with Fernando. But if I had to be completely honest, y'all, like I said, this is my opinion. If you were Fernando main, please forgive me. If you got better loadouts that you think I should use, write down in the comments by the time you see this video and all that stuff. But me personally, bro, I think Fernando need a straight up all around buff. Like dead
Mm,
serious. And I'm gonna tell you why he needs a buff. Cause this one thing, his talents are solid. None of his talent is bad. All of them are good. But I truly feel like for whatever, maybe it's just me, maybe I got a terrible loadout or whatever. But I just feel like, bro, I feel like Fernando may got all like he got the like good talents, got the best loadout. But I just feel like just using his base kit, right? His
mm,
base kit, he don't do enough damage that's justified to really do anything for the team. Like
I see.
I'm not trying to say Fernando is trash. Like he's not a trash tank. Like I'll tell you, like he literally had the best loadout in the game, in my personal opinion. Like his loadout is
Right.
ridiculous because you got so many things to do. Because I see a lot of Paladins players use like Scorch, right? I use Scorch, but I feel like Scorch don't do nothing. Maybe I don't know if it's like I said, maybe it's the loadout I have don't really justify that, but I feel like Scorch don't do nothing because all it does is like it strengthens up your fireball, and when you shoot somebody
Hmm.
with a fireball, it increase like the next damage after after you use the fireball. But I feel
Hmm.
like even still, bro, because I use Scorch, I use Aces the main one I use the most because that's like just stronger shield. It's kind of same thing with
Okay.
it's kind of same thing with Con. Once I get the Con, I kind of use the same thing like Aces just to have a stronger shield.
Hmm.
But like I said, because a lot of people I see they say use Scorch, but honestly, I feel like Scorch don't do nothing. But like I said, it could just be me, you know. It just could be me.
I see what you're saying.
But overall, besides that, talent wise, I just feel like, bro, every time I play Fernando, I feel like he can't secure his kill to save his life at times. Sometimes I feel like I can. Sometimes it feel like I'm just tickling the enemy team. Like I'm shooting fire at them, but they didn't get it burned. Like it's just like what's going on.
Hmm.
And I can't tell you how many times, bro, that even I used the fireball, do the charge, primary fire, heck, even the ultimate, which is a kind of a strong ultimate in a sense. It's not too crazy, but it's a little bit strong.
I see. I see.
It still don't feel like I'm doing anything playing Fernando. And like I said, I know I keep on repeating myself. Maybe it's just me. I don't understand how to play the character. Maybe there's maybe a loadout I might need to change, or somebody, Fernando main, let me know. But I just feel like Fernando, in my personal opinion, out of all the tanks so far, he needs the buff, like an outright buff, like completely. just to justify him to be a little bit more. I mean, I feel like he's tanky, but not tanky enough to really do damage, but not like, like DPS level, but just enough
Yeah.
that I feel like it's justified that he can really do some damage. But overall, as tank wise, he got the right build. I just feel like he just kind of weak in my opinion. He just needs some more buffs.
Okay.
A little bit more
I
buff.
see.
Well, actually, not a little bit buff, just a straight up buff. Like he needs it to make him a little
I
more.
could see. Like, would you buff his like? Would you buff his like his abilities, or more like so his like talents or cards?
I
'Cause I know you
was
said he had a good loadout.
No, I wouldn't buff the talents on cars because they're solid, bro. Like he literally, if you ever look at his loadout, like it's ridiculous what you could do. I would
Yeah, his
say,
loadout's nice.
I'll probably say just his base kit just need buffs. Like just his primary could use a little bit more buff. Maybe his charge could do a little more damage. His shield is fine, honestly, because like I said, I use aces as the main talent for him, so shield is
Mhm.
fine. But just the mainly his attack base abilities, and heck, even his ultimate, because I feel like with his ultimate, it's like it's good, but only I see what it really does is like it keeps you alive for a couple seconds more so that it's doing damage. Because I feel like he does fire based abilities. The fire should
That's
do some
true.
damage. Because if you look at Tyra, right, for on the damage class, bro, you know how many times she throw the Molotovs, whatever the heck she throws,
Yeah,
it burns everybody, and they burn it. We're burning it. Fernando
that's
don't.
true.
Well, I
I
play
feel like they can increase Fernando's spread too.
because I just feel like Fernando fire don't be doing nothing, man. It's like you tickling somebody. Like I'm dead
That
serious.
man burning marshmallows, roasting
No,
marshmallows.
I'm not gonna lie. Like that's how I feel when it comes to Fernando. It's just not really doing much. But that, like I said, end of the day, y'all, that's my opinion. So don't kill me in the comments that you Fernando made. But I just feel like he needs a buff, in my personal opinion. But you got anything else to say too about Fernando? Because I just feel like he just need a buff. Just straight up, just need a
No, I
buff.
agree with you 100%. Like, especially like I said, like they could definitely increase his like spread for his flamethrower.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, yeah, I agree with you. He could definitely do a little bit of buff.
And
Meanwhile, while I'm fighting one.
oh, you probably would.
Hmm.
Because I'll tell you, because I feel like a lot of times, even though as a tank main when I play as Fernando, sometimes I feel like, don't get me wrong, y'all. Sometimes I feel like when I play Fernando, I could be a little crack here and there. I feel like I'm actually doing something, but sometimes it just feels like it's just like he don't have enough damage to really justify to play him like that compared to other tanks. But in certain
True.
compositions, I feel like he works, but he don't work all the time. He should feel like a tank that like kind of like an Ash where you could play like an all-around tank. That's how Fernando should feel, but to me he doesn't. And that's the problem right there.
I agree with you.
But okay. All right, now we're done with
Yeah, that's a
Fernando.
good point. That's a solid point right there. I agree with that.
Yep. All right. Now we're going to the next tank. And of course, this is my number two, my top pit tank in the game. Because number one's Ash for me. Number two, this is my girl I'm gonna talk about now, y'all. Inara. Whoo!
Mm,
Inara, y'all. Look, I'm not gonna look. Hear me out, y'all. Cause
Nora.
I know some people could be split by how they feel about Inara. But just hear me out, right? So Inara, okay. For Inara, y'all, I feel like Inara, just hear me out, needs a slight, hear me, slight,
Mm,
not a huge, a
mm.
slight buff to her primary fire, but that's it. Everything else is a no change for me. Inara, bro, is hands down one of the best tanks in the game. In my hands down. Even though she's number two, even though Ash is my number one main tank, Nara's reason number two for a reason, bro. Like she is hands down one of the best tanks in the game. Like she could almost do
Okay.
it. She almost could do everything. Like literally,
Yeah, she can.
she got a nice rock wall. She had the it was like Tremors, basically like the rock mines that if you go into them, like it slows down the enemy and kind of prevents you even to use your abilities.
Hmm.
Earth and Guard, which is really strong. Just her just doing
That
her.
is a
That's
annoyingly strong
yeah,
ability.
yeah, that's strong ability. Basically, her doing her Wakanda pose, like Wakanda forever,
Hmm.
and just like freaking like running around like a freaking tank. And then her ultimate is simple but clean, y'all. It's simple but clean.
Ooh.
Like that ultimate is it's nice. Cause all she do is just
No,
throw
it is. It
she throw
is.
that
I gotta get that
spear,
to him.
she throw it and just do a lot of
Hmm.
damage. And that's it. But that's all she need. Like,
No, that's literally what it is. I'm like, yo, that's what I'm saying. I feel like she need a nerf, low key.
look, I bet you feel like that. Look, I don't want that in my girl
Hmm.
because I love Inara. That's my number 2 girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my number 2. But
Yeah,
but
yeah,
overall.
she is.
But overall, the reason why I said she need a slight buff to her primary fire, y'all, because I would say out of everything about Inara, her primary fire is the weakest. Out of all her abilities, that's the weakest. Of course, maybe it's like that because her other abilities are strong. Like that could be a possibility, which I feel like I would be valid if that's the case. But I do feel
Hmm.
like at the same time though, it just need to be buffed just a tad bit. Like you know what I'm saying, bro? You know how it's like just a few numbers up, but not too
Yeah.
crazy. It's just enough to feel like because sometimes in my fights with Inara, I feel like I reload more so than anything, more so than getting the kill. It's like I can shoot at it. It feel like I had to shoot an enemy about 4 to 5 times before to get the kill with the Nara. More so than
Hmm.
it should take maybe like 3, like either her shots.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. When you
but
add them up, right?
yeah, so overall, like I said, it just like I just feel like just a slight buff to her primary fire, just a very, very tad bit. But overall, she need no change. Like Nara is solid for how she is. Like very dangerous, but very balanced character tank in my opinion. Like not too crazy. Cause that's the only buff I would say, but it is that Nara solid.
Mhm.
No change.
No, I
Okay.
agree with that. I agree with that. I wouldn't change her. Nah, there's nothing I would change about her.
You said nerf.
Yeah, yeah.
You
I was
said
being
nerf.
petty because that's one of your go tos.
Yeah. But anything else about Nara? You gotta say about her, or you feel like you good? Oh,
No, I was gonna say with the Nara, I do think like her spread that she has overall for her like her basic loadout,
mm-hmm.
I think is pretty good, and she's a dominant tank, so she does take up. Oh, I got committed for skill,
Oh,
but she does
nice.
take. She has presence. She has
Okay.
presence on there,
Oh,
so I do
okay.
like that.
Okay. Okay,
Hmm.
that's definitely good. And then there's probably one more thing or two I would say that when it comes to her talents are solid. I would say that it kind of sucks because with her talent, the only one that I feel like a lot of people, which I see now, first I didn't understand it until I actually use the talent more and more, is Mother's Grace. That is literally for most people, that's her best talent, and that's really the only talent you want to go for. And which I didn't understand that because for me, I was using the Traymore's talent where basically the rock mines that I use, the radius is like probably like 50% bigger, I think.
That's
And
it.
but like I said, it covers more ground because you know I'm the tank that like to fight up close, so that's why I
Right.
use that ability more a lot like more than anything else. Because most of the enemy team, you know, they try to jump me. It's like okay, I'm gonna throw to my rock mines, and y'all gonna be trapped in it. It gonna make y'all slow, move slow in it, and then it
Mhm.
mess up your abilities. You can't use it. It give me all the chance to fight y'all.
It has a slowdown effect too.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I was using it the most. But then it came down to why I use Mother's Grace, where a lot of people was talking about. I mean, the ability description is nice, but when you actually use it, I was like, I see what people are talking about because when Nanara used Mother's Grace, bro, she is a tanky tank with that talent. That talent makes her tanky. And I see it
Mm.
now. It makes it kind of harder to kill Inara, especially you got a decent team to keep you alive, like your
True.
supports and stuff. So that's why I said she needs a slight buff, just a tiny bit in her primary
A
damage.
little
But
bit.
but overall, like Inara is solid. Like she really don't need no change. She definitely don't need to get buff. Like at all.
Oh no, no, not at
And,
all,
and I
at
feel
all.
and I feel like she don't need to get nerfed either because I feel like she is balanced. Like she's okay to fight. It don't feel like she's too dominant that you like, oh my god. It's like she is too much to handle, like kind of thing. Like, nah, she's
Yeah,
solid.
no, no, no. She's definitely manageable. It's just when she had a support at her hip. That's the only time, really.
Okay. All right. All right, cool.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, we're making
Mhm,
some progress. Good stuff. Good stuff. We're making some progress right now.
mhm, mhm.
All right. All right, now we're going on to the next. The next one. Okay. All right. All right. So the next tank I'm gonna talk about, y'all, is Khan. The man with
Mm.
the battle shout,
Hurrah!
the basically the
The
Reinhardt in this
Thanos
game.
arm.
The
Mhm,
Reinhardt in this game with a gun.
mhm.
That's basically what
With
a
the
Khan
Thanos
is.
gauntlet.
Yep, bro, pretty much. So For Khan, which this was actually gonna be short one right here for Khan. Honestly, bro, for Khan, I have him as no change. Khan is a straight up solid tank. And I see why a lot of people put him in the like from A to S tier character. At first, I didn't understand it because I thought Khan was kind of weak in a sense, but you remember that was in my early Paladins days. We play the game enough now that I understand why people play Khan a lot. I just felt like because most of his moves, if you pay attention, is a battle shout, a command grab, and then his ultimate is a command grab that you could throw somebody far away, kind of thing. So I felt
Right.
like, me personally, I felt like how that's really helping. Oh, yeah, of course, he had a shield too, but I felt like I'm like, how that really helpful because, like, as a tank, I feel like trying to go be too close in a fight, especially with him with a gun and stuff. I felt like it's not going to help nobody, right? But I
Yeah,
was
I agree.
wrong. I see now how it really works playing Kong. The more I play him now, because with his command grab, when he do the command grab, he throws somebody behind so the enemy, our team, could take the
Yeah,
enemy out. So
yeah, that's true.
it is ultimate,
They're like, get over here.
he do like the was a Darth Vader grip with the
Hmm.
Force and just throw away. And when I see it, I'm just like, okay, like the more I see it, like Khan is really dangerous. I see why people play him, and he's really a solid. Like pretty much he's an all around tank. Like you could actually
That's
play
true.
Khan in almost every map, no problem. But of course, it's the same thing. Like we always say, it always come down to your team, who they're playing, because sometimes it can be
Hmm.
situational. But overall, Khan can play. He's kind of like Ash. Really, no change. Like he can just do pretty much everything in a sense, which kind of crazy for a tank. His abilities more like, well, really, it's battle shout. That's what helps too, because it's not only heals him, it also kind of heals your team too when he does that.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
for a tank to basically do like a command grab and got the force power and throw somebody away, I didn't think he would be that dangerous, but he really is. If it's put, especially in the right hands. I'm not gonna act like I'm
Yeah,
the best con main. Like, well, I don't really main him as much, but I would say I do play con a lot. That I know that he's a top tier tank, no doubt.
he is. I agree. I agree because he's like, but he definitely, like you said, you hit a point earlier. You was like, it definitely will benefit have him depending on who you have on your team. Like if you have like somebody like a Strix or like a Canessa or
Mhm.
like two of them,
Yeah.
he's not a huge benefit. Like you would need somebody like that's really up close who can like play more mid range to close range with him.
Hmm. And
But
they
other than that, I agree. I wouldn't make any change.
Yeah, and plus, and then even with his gun, like his talents, like we have, is pretty solid. The only
Hmm.
one I don't care too much is his second talent, which I feel like is a good talent, but I understand why they did it the way they did, because it's like see, I like his second talent. It's like I love and hate it at the same time, but I understand why they did it. So his second talent is where you can speed up your gun to shoot more. So it's like a faster gun, like almost like a machine gun, like da 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 da. But every bullet
Hmm.
is decreased by 25%. So it's not as strong, but you shoot faster bullets though. So that's the
Yeah,
thing. I see why they
that
did
makes
it.
sense.
I mean, cause I like the machine gun feeling with the gun, cause you like pop 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 pop. But it's like, but if every bullet is weaker, I feel like it's a waste. At least in my opinion. But in certain compositions, I can see how it could work for some people. But for me, it's like, nah, I gotta get strong damage when
Yeah,
I'm playing tank. Like I'll take any
compared to
damage
right.
compared to just having speed. But and
Hmm.
then his last talent was well, one of them was his shield, which I use all the time. Like I said, I always go for the one that I feel like as a tank, I care about protecting my team as much as possible, more so than me security kills like that. Because at the end of the day, I feel like that's the whole point. Tank is about be able to absorb the damage, take as much damage as you can, because you have the most health pool out of everybody. So
True.
that's why a lot of times when I play tank, I don't care about my KD as much. I do care, but I don't care at the same time, because it's like,
Yeah, it's more
because
so
it
like get the win.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, to get the win, and then my team is able to fight. Like you, bro, you play damage and flame. I do, yeah, get no kills and stuff. Be a selfish player because we all want to win.
You know I am.
And then his third talent is just basically it's like his command grab, and when he uses the ability, it stuns the enemy for I think like 2 to 3 more seconds, which I mean it's fine, but I don't use that one. I use the more shield because I'm gonna use the shield more than using the command graph ability. So
True, exactly. And it all depend on your play style too.
yeah, of course too, because everybody got their own play style too. So yeah, you're right about that. So
Hmm.
that's why I feel like Khan overall, no change. He's fine. Now,
I agree with you.
y'all, if y'all watching this video so far, go ahead, hit the like, follow, subscribe, and of course, help the boy get to 50 followers on Twitch. Just to just to let y'all know if you got this far in the video. Just saying. Because I know y'all enjoying this talk. I know y'all enjoying this talk. You got this far in the video.
It's a vibe.
Y'all
You know,
intrigued. I know.
you hear this far, you might as well stay to the end.
Yeah, they are intrigued.
Hmm.
Okay.
We already got y'all.
Okay.
Congratulations, y'all part of the family now.
Yeah, for real, for real.
And with this family come loyalty, ain't no leaving.
No, facts, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
All right, okay, all right. So the next tank we're gonna talk about is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle himself, Makoa.
Oh
The
wow.
basically the turtle version of Roadhog in this game. So one thing I said about Makoa, he needs the vape like Roadhog so he can stay alive in the fight more. I'm just joking. No, he don't need that. He don't need that. I guess this vape would be the bubbles in the water, like some water. You're drinking water.
So he
Or
needs some oxygen so he can breathe.
something like that. But nah, you don't need it
Yeah.
like that. So Makoa, so what I have from Makoa, so what I have for him is that pretty much the turtle man himself. Honestly, I just feel like Makoa just need a quality of life change. Main reason why I would say that is because I feel like Makoa is just he's one of those tanks that like he's a situational tank. He's not good for every map, but he is not a trash tank whatsoever. He's really a strong tank, but it comes down to the right composition and the right map and the right like team, just overall
True.
how to use him. The main reason why I say he need a quality of life is honestly, bro, probably just his kit alone, mainly of cooldowns. I'm putting the reason why I say cooldowns because I'm gonna say a good example. His hook. Now, if y'all know Roadhog for Overwatch, you know he can be annoying with the hook, right? Makoa got his own
Very
hook.
true.
He got his own anchor as the hook. But the thing with me though, I feel like with Makoa is because he is a Roadhog kind of type of character. He should be able to use that hook a little bit more. Of course, not so crazy that I feel like it's too instant. Like, you need a cooldown for it, right? But I feel like it's like, because like for me, for example, like I have a loadout for Makoa that I maxed out the card where it reduces the time for his anchor, right? To do the hook shot. But the issue, bro, because it's like you gotta understand, like that is probably like the biggest part of Makoa's kick is that hook. Because it's like, because he got his primary fire, which is slow, but of course you can use Death Hands or use a card to reload speed, which I do, so my reload speed is instant. He got his shield, which is strong. Fine how it is, unless you want to buff it up some more, which is fine.
Right.
And then of course his ultimate is strong because he turns to a giant turtle and he can be Teenage Mutant Turtle style, just fight like yeah, melee style, like he going crazy, right?
Freaking Michelangelo.
But actually I said more of Donatello, but even though he got that axe,
True.
I mean, he got that anchor, so he's like yeah, yeah. And listen, he turns to a big turtle, and come on, and his health pool is bigger too when he transforms and stuff. But I just feel like his hook, bro, that is like the key part into this whole entire kit out of everything I just said. And I feel like the cooldown for his hook is ridiculous. I feel like they got his, like, besides me mess out the card to calm down his cooldown for the hook, it's like to me it's kind of feel like Makoa kind of like Baptiste in a sense in Overwatch, where when he used immortality field, you know how long the cooldown for that freaking ability is, or Mercy, you know how she do her res, the same thing. That's how I feel like Makoa with his hook. And I feel like I understand you don't want to make it too instant to make it more annoying, but that's part of his kit. And I feel like you making the cooldown so high for it, it's kind of ridiculous in my opinion. Because I mean, it's like, I mean, it could be annoying, but I want to say it's OP. Because at the end of the day, it's like you gotta do some combos with it to make it, worth it.
Okay, I see what you're
And
saying.
then of course too, he got the turtle spin when that's one of his other abilities he can do. But yeah, I just feel like mainly just his cooldowns probably could like they kind of like calm it down a little bit. I'm no mainly I'm kind of going more the quality life more on the hook. And
Hmm.
honestly, but mainly besides that, maybe just his movement in the game kind of make it a little more fluent. But I mean, I understand he's a big turtle. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect him to run
Right.
fast or nothing like that. But you know how a character, like when you play a character, you kind of want to make him feel like fluent as possible. Especially with the like loadouts and stuff you have for
Mm.
the character, I just feel like Makoa need to just move a little faster. I know he's a big turtle, but come on, man, you can put him on pepper your step. You know what
That's a
I'm saying?
big joker right there.
You know, kind of like that.
Yeah,
But
that's a
just
big joker.
but overall, his talents they're solid. He got plucked. That's the one where his cooldown for the well, I don't think it's a cooldown, but more so his hook shot is does what's it more damage? I think it does it more damage. Oh no, he can use it more, something like that. That's pretty good. And then Leviathan, that's why I start using more. His HP pool is very high,
Hmm.
and then when he uses ultimate, it recharges his cooldowns for his hook and everything else. So it's like it kind of resets it pretty much, so make it
True.
like back to use it instant. But overall,
True.
for Makoa, like I said, just kind of more quality life, just small tweaks to make him feel a little bit better to play. But overall, he's solid. Like he really don't need no change for the most part. But I definitely would say don't buff the character, don't nerf the character. Like he's in that roll hall state where it's like if you buff him, he becomes too OP. If you nerf him, he
Yeah,
becomes useless. He's in a nice middle ground, and you kind
yeah.
of want to keep him there.
Really don't know which way to go, and you know what I'm saying, it's not really too much you can go.
Exactly, but yeah, that's pretty much it for Makoa, the Turtle Man himself. Anything you got to say about Makoa?
Yeah, honestly, I see what you're saying with the hook, but I disagree. I think I wouldn't change him at all. And the reason I say I wouldn't
Okay.
change the hook is because he has so many things in his kit.
Mm-hmm.
And then that hook compared, I know you compare him to Rohawk, his hook stretches a lot further on
Mm-hmm.
top
Okay.
of that too.
Okay.
Like, so I think, for that cooldown, the reason they didn't, they kept that cooldown as is because he has a lot more range on it
Okay.
compared to, like, some other abilities that he has. So yeah, I would leave him as is. I wouldn't make any changes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, that's fair points. Yeah, that's good points. I kind of can see where there because
Yeah.
you're basically one like a Roll Hall 2.0. So I kind of I get
No,
where you
that's what
kind
I'm
of go,
saying. And he has
but
mad
yeah,
range with that hook.
it just
Like
I get
mad
I
range.
guess it for me because I'm a little biased more so because I'm a tank player. So it's like,
Hmm.
hey, make it more fun for me, but get by everybody else. But I understand like you want to keep the game
Heck
balanced.
no, I
You
play against them. So
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like a little more biased to
hmm.
take side. So if y'all a tape player, you understand where I'm coming from. And of course, if you're a Makoa main, you definitely get where I'm coming from. You'll probably agree with what I'm saying. But like I
Hmm.
said, good points though. Good points on both sides for us. So good stuff.
Hmm.
All right. All right. Okay, the next tank. The lovely, strong woman in the tank role. Nyx. Whoo, Nyx. What to say about Nyx? Y'all look, if y'all know, y'all know. She's like she said, she's like,
You know, you
she's
know.
like, we together will spread the
The
new order. The order.
new order.
The new order. You know what I'm saying?
Slide.
You know
Hmm.
this, y'all know this. Y'all know about this. I don't need to say much about this.
You
Y'all
know nothing
know.
about on there.
Man, they know
Yeah.
about this, y'all. Y'all know about this. All
You
right.
know about it.
All right. So for Nyx, so what I got for her overall for like going through everybody so far for Nyx, honestly, I feel like Nyx has needs a no change. I feel like Nyx is actually solid how she is. Cause I feel like she like I want to say it's like she's like a good all around tank per se, but she got by every ability that I could think of that really benefited her and benefited the team too. If you know what you're doing, because she got
Hmm.
her slash ability that slows down enemies. She have her like kind of like shield wall, which I feel like is not the greatest, but depending how you do your loadout and then depending how you use it, it's it's still cover. You get some cover out of it.
Yeah.
Her base damage is good because I mean, look, she like to box, so she like choo 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 choo, like she does some combos with her primary fire, which is fun because it's like like she like this like bump the guns. I'm gonna use the hands, so she like choo 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 choo. Like I like that. I like that. Like the girl box. I love that. Like she box. She and then one of my favorite abilities which she got is kind of like the poison aura ability, where basically it's like a big old dome that if you go into it, she does damage, like poison damage on the enemy. And what that does too, they give it kind of like extra health on top, like extra health on top of my health I already have. But also it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because if I get damaged too much, almost about to die, and I use that ability, it can keep me alive for a second. But of course, if the enemy TK on doing damage on me, she gonna die.
True.
And then her ultimate, which I would say, look, her ultimate is so simple but it's so fun. It's kind of like Inara in a sense, where she just like, it's like how some girls just get mad and stuff. She just do and basically this ultimate is just like stomp stomp slam. Stomp,
Big
slam.
stomp.
And so basically she do some big stomps, put a little break everybody into the crew and do a bigger stomp and then just hurt everybody. So
they're gonna know she there.
Yeah. So overall, like Nitz is just, to me, she's just straight up, she's just a solid pick. Her talents, I just feel like they're okay. They're not the greatest, but like I said, they don't really need, I mean, I want to say they need any tweaks or anything, but I just feel like they're okay. You know what I'm saying? They're not the greatest, but they could work wherever talent works for you the best, as playstyle wise. But Nitz overall, she need no change. Like I feel like she got everything as a tank player would need, and don't really need no change. Like she don't need a buff, she don't need a nerf, no quality of life change. I feel like she's solid how she is, and I feel like where she at currently right now, like she okay. Like just leave her how she is.
Yeah, I wouldn't make any changes.
Yep.
I wouldn't make any changes at all, bro. Yeah, I'll keep that as is.
Keep it as is with Nitz. Okay.
I agree with you. Good points. Good points.
Nothing else for the new order, lady? The new order.
It's a new world order.
New order. Yeah, y'all know. Look, I love some Nitz. I love Nitz.
That's just go to.
But look, don't think too much about it.
Nah.
So okay, now the next tank we're gonna talk about, the Hellboy himself, Raum. The demon king in this game. Basically the Malga in this game. And I know we do a lot of Overwatch references, y'all, so just know, like, look, it's just, it's fine. There's a lot of similarities, but of course, Paladins is his own game. I understand this, but of course you gotta remember we play Overwatch, so that's why I use a lot of references to Overwatch too. Just let y'all know. But yeah, Raum. So Raum. So right now for me, where I have Raum, in my personal opinion, I would say that Raum, only really Raum needs is just quality of life. I'm gonna say why. Raum is like, he's one of those tanks that he is how I put it. He is a decent enough tank, but the problem with Raum is that he's the one tank in the game that you can literally counter him with pretty much everybody. It doesn't matter who, no matter what role. Like Raum just can get countered by literally everybody. He's like, this man can't do nothing at times. It's like it's like at points in certain situations he can feel very dominant, but then at some points he ain't doing nothing. Like at all. Like at all. Like, man, you could play Makoa and have a better chance doing something for your team more so than Raum. And that's no lie. Like, the problem with Raum for me is, like, I can understand they don't want to like, I mean, it's good he has counters, because obviously you don't want Raum to be too buff, because if you buff this dude, like he would be too OP. My issue with Raum, I feel like, honestly, like, I mean, because he got a lot of counters. The issue for me with Raum is that he's like Malga in Overwatch. Like, he doesn't have no ability that really protects the team as a tank. Now, if Raum was like freaking say like damage or something, I feel that made more sense in my perspective.
True.
But him as a tank, he just like Malga, he don't provide really much for the team. It's so to help himself. So like my thing with
I agree
Raum
with
is
that.
like, cause like, and then my issue too with Raum, to why he needed quality of life, is the weapon spread. I feel like they need to tighten his weapon spread so he can hit more shots at the target. Because when you realize we play Raum, no matter if you're mid range, long range, or even heck, even close range, his shots, you miss a lot of your shots out of the, I can't remember how many rounds he have in his machine gun, but you miss a good chunk of his rounds on your target, and that's what mess up like trying to get the kill with Raum.
Yeah, his reload
And
speed's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, oh yeah, his reload speed is ridiculous. Like you need to get like death hands just to make it work at
Mm-hmm.
times. Then on top of that, he has his charge move, kind of like you know how Malgo when he like charged at the team. I mean, it's good. I mean, he can get away. He can do some damage to enemies. It's cool and all, but he don't provide much for the team. It helps you. Then he had this other movie like the Soul Harvest move that gains him more like a kind of like an extra shield, like a health, which is good. It's a good ability, but like I said, people pretty much everybody can counter Raum. He don't have nothing that can really help him to stay alive long enough in the fight
Like a
to make
shield or
him,
anything.
yeah, to make him really useful. But it's like at the same time, it's like it's kind of hard like to really say like because you know Raum is like he's not a terrible tank, but you can't play Raum every time. That's the problem. That he's that character like he can work sometimes, but he don't work all the time. I don't care how much you are a Raum main. If that's your boy, like that you main that character, I personally feel like you cannot play him all the time because he's not gonna work. Like your team that you have, y'all gotta work together to make it work. Or if that, you gotta at least do double tank. I feel like to make Raum more viable, because having him as a solo tank, you're not doing nothing at all.
Yeah, he don't really protect the team either.
But like my biggest thing with him, like even with his talents, most of it, like I said, is for himself. It's more like he can do more damage, use his ultimate. Other one when he does his charge move, and the other one is the one talent he does have that if he does the Soul Harvest ability, he can actually kind of heal his team a little bit. So he do have a talent that is actually useful, which I haven't used as a lot. Like I never really tried it out too much, so I might need to see how well it does to help. Probably help overall. Like the team in general, but overall, like it don't do much. It's just kind of like like whatever, like kind of whatever. But really, my big issue is definitely like saying his reload speed is god awful. Then on top of that, his weapon spread is the worst. Like they really need to. I feel like they really need to type in that weapon spread so he can hit the target. Like what I'm saying, like I know he got all the rounds. Of course, you don't want to make him. You don't want. I don't want his primary fire to be buff or nothing. But make the weapons. Let me be able to hit my target. I'm tired. I feel like I'll shoot at a target and feel like I'll shoot it right at him and shoot it left and shoot it right. Like what? It's like I'm looking dead at you. I'm trying to shoot, but it go up, go down.
Like it
left,
just don't.
right. It don't hit the target. It's annoying. Like sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. It's just like
it's like you don't. You feel like you don't have full control.
Yeah, you don't, man. Like if they really want it, man, they might as well give Raum another machine gun. He'd definitely be Malga for real. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like it'd be cool. Raum have another machine gun, so he feel like like
yeah, just go crazy.
But of course, I know some people don't like that because like some people already hate Malga or Overwatch, so I feel like people would hate Raum more if he had a double machine gun.
100%. Especially because he can run the way he does.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be cool in my personal opinion. I feel like if it did like an experiment kind of thing, like why not? Try to see how it is, But I could understand why he don't, because his other abilities, it makes sense the way he could use them when he just have one gun, which I get it.
Yeah, that's valid.
But it'll be. I feel like he could have two machine guns, bro. It's just, saying like he's he's the he's the Hellboy in that game. So he's like like go crazy kind of thing.
Crazy.
But I mean, overall, that's it for Raum for me. Overall, like I said, quality of life. That's what I feel like they need to do it. Because like I said, he get countered by everybody, bro. Like pretty much no matter if you damage, flank, or support, pretty much everybody can counter this dude. And he can get killed, like no problem. Like he's not a threat. I bet sometimes he does, but most times he's not a threat. Like, and that's how I feel with Raum. So you got anything to say about Raum?
No, I was great points. I actually agree with you 100%. Like, I feel like for like he has a lot of untapped potential.
Hmm.
He has a lot of untapped potential as how
Hmm.
he is. But like you said, they need to make him a little bit more team based.
Yeah.
So like slight alters to his abilities.
Yeah, I can agree with that because I
Hmm.
feel like that one talent he has that he can give some healing to his team is good. But of course, when people play Raum, they want to just go crazy. They just want to be destructive. Like
Right.
that's why you
That's all
play.
it is.
Yeah, that's what you play Raum for. But I do at the same time I feel like it's kind of hard to really want to play. Like to me, sometimes I want to play Raum. Like sometimes I want to play the Malga type character at times because sometimes I feel
Hmm.
like you don't know who to play. Let me play a character that can just be destructive, right? Because it's fun to play a destructive character. But of course, if he's counter all the time, sometimes he might be a throw pick. Sometimes I might be hurting the team playing Rom, unless maybe if I had a second tank or dependent on my team who they play to help me. Because the problem with playing Rom, you can't play him as a solo tank and just thinking that I can just carry my team. Not
Nah,
necessarily. Like sometimes you
I
probably
agree.
can, probably, but most of the time you cannot carry your team with Rom. I'm sorry, your team is carrying
Mm-mm.
you to keep you alive.
Nah, you definitely not carrying wrong.
And your support, if
If
they
you
don't,
carry wrong, your team is just Garbo.
and this is my thing. And then if support is not healing wrong, R.I.P. Like
Oh yeah, he's cooked at that
you're
point.
not surviving long. I'm sorry, it's not.
Yeah, nah, he's cooked. Hmm.
You're not surviving long. No, not even close. All right.
No, I agree with you. Solid points. Good points.
Okay. We're making some progress. Now,
Hmm.
now, this right here is gonna be the big hot take, bro. And you're gonna understand why I say this. So for people who are mains of this character, I want y'all to understand this before I say the name of this character. This next character I'm gonna talk about. I'm not the greatest with this character. I might not have the best loadout for this character. I probably don't understand really how to play the character well enough to make sense how to play him. But I want to let y'all know, like I said, this is me just being honest about this character because this is gonna be a hot take, and you're gonna see why this is gonna be a hot take, bro, in a second with this character.
Hmm.
With this character, like I feel like with this character, like it just like every time I played this character, I feel like it's straight up throw pick. It's not. It's no worth. It's not even worth really playing this character like that. And I'm gonna say the name in a second now. So y'all, the tank I'm talking about, and like I said, this is gonna be a hot take. So don't go crazy in the comments if you are a main of this tank. I'm just letting y'all know. Just relax.
Hmm.
Just hear me
Hmm.
out. Cause like I said,
Your opinion.
yeah, cause like I said, cause this is just my opinion. And like I said, I haven't played this character enough, or I played a character good enough for my experience, but not enough. Probably somebody who put hours, so they will know more than me. But just hear me
Facts.
out. So the character I'm talking about is Ruckus. Yo,
Hmm.
Ruckus. I'm gonna tell you about Ruckus. This is gonna be a hot take right here. And bro, this is probably this is the only one with this one thing I'm gonna say, because I didn't say this for the other takes so far. Ruckus, in my personal opinion, needs a whole rework. A whole re.
Mm.
And I'll tell you, that's the only take at the list so far that has rework. That I put right down for rework. I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why I feel like Ruckus need rework, because I feel like honestly, in my personal opinion, Ruckus is kind of a throw pick tank. In my personal
Mm.
opinion, the reason why I feel like he's a throw pick tank, I feel like no matter how many times, and like I said, y'all, this is my spirit for me playing Ruckus enough, right? Enough that I feel like I can make these points. But like I said, I'm not I haven't played Ruckus that much as far as some
Hmm.
people who like pros, like, some people probably really know how to play the character. Like I said, if y'all got better loadouts and stuff, right down below, if you got some good loadouts I could try out and see, cause I might change my opinion later on, right? But for right now, I feel like Ruckus need to rework because I feel like when you play Ruckus, I feel like Ruckus do not provide anything as far as tank, especially if you're going as far as solo tank, right? If you solo tank with Ruckus,
Hmm.
he don't provide anything that really benefits the team. Okay, the best abilities in my opinion for Ruckus is emitter, that's his shield, and his ultimate, which got the straight up crazy machine gun.
I can see that. Okay.
Ruckus like his rocket launchers don't really do nothing. His dash boost is good, but you know, you got to really use it like with the loadout to make it like, you know, you can go further to get out of situations. Before I'm gonna say why he needs rework, like completely, before I make my comparison, because you know it's going back to Overwatch. It probably people probably know who I'm gonna say for Ruckus, who he feels close to, which I'm about to say in a little bit. His talents to me garbage. The only good one is the emitter, which is one where he has like, you know, just to get like, I think it's like a cooldown, and he just gained more like you know what, protection overall, like, you know, keep him alive basically.
Right.
His second talent is his rocket launcher does more damage. I feel it's trash because it don't really do nothing. I use the rocket launchers, it don't feel like it does nothing. And his last talent, which I feel like is a complete waste in my opinion. Basically what it is that because when Ruckus does the dash ability, like going forward, that third talent, what it does, like if you stay still, right, you can use that dash ability to push you up to take height. But my thing is, it's probably better if you have the like the loadout to like when his dash make go travel further, it probably could go up higher. So you know what I'm saying? Like I've never tried that out, but probably that's what it is that you can use to make it better. But that's basically his three talents. I feel like they pretty much garbage in my personal opinion. That just they be straight up rework. But the main thing about Ruckus, I would say that he needs to what he really needs to change is that Ruckus. And like y'all say, just hear me out. Ruckus, I feel like needs to feel more like D.Va from Overwatch.
Okay.
Because look, and this is the reason why. If you play Ruckus, Ruckus is the closest name to D.Va in Overwatch. If you play D.Va from Overwatch, y'all, D.Va feels fluent of having a mech base to like, you know, just the character design. Like it feel like it's so fluid. Like if Ruckus had that same feeling, cause you know his mech talks. Cause his name Bones. That like his mech talk kind of, well, even though D.Va's mech don't talk, and of course you know she could get out. He's a little gobbler, so you know he don't need to get out the mech or nothing like that. That's not what I'm talking about. But I feel like overall, like the mech movement of D.Va need to be on Ruckus. Because if Ruckus, because I feel like Ruckus kidney kind of revolves kind of like a D.Va. Like his movement can be fluent, his shots, like, you know, I feel like he don't even need ammo. His shots just need to be like kind of like, you know how D.Va could shoot kind of forever, but the damage is not too strong that's overpowered. Like he don't need no ammo. His ammo should be unlimited, but just like, you know, he just can keep on shooting, but it's not too powerful. And then on top of that, I feel like his dash ability need to be more like D.Va, where, you know, D.Va has thrusters and how she could, because you could do with that. You could do a lot with that. You could maybe like go up in the air, take height, or you might go on the left, go right. I feel like if Ruckus was like that, like D.Va kind of like that mechanics, Ruckus I feel like Ruckus would be a top tier tank in my opinion. I feel like he's nowhere near a top tier tank. To me, he's literally I really feel like he's just straight up a throw pick. I feel like at some points, if you do like a double tank with somebody else, you can make it work a bit, but I feel like just playing him in general, he's just not that great. Besides having like his shield and his ultimate, I feel like that's the strongest ability. Heck, even with his ultimate, it would've been nice if if he had the mechanics like D.Va in Overwatch, right? And say like he's able to go up in the air, and then he uses ultimate, which is, bro, you know, it's machine guns. He can aim at the target, and all the guns are blazing right at the target. Like he like bro, it will be wild. It'd be insane, and he could do a lot. But Ruckus, how he is to me personally right now, he just not that good. He's just not that good.
I agree. He's a run through. He's easy to play.
I just feel like he provides nothing for the team. Even though he's an off tank, I understand he is an off tank, but even still, y'all, I feel like he just don't provide nothing for the team to really do much. Like, I mean, he can do a little bit, but not enough. And like I said, the rockets, he only shoot like 2 rockets, Like Diva, she shoot like 4 to 5 rockets off her mech,
No, facts,
and
bro.
that does more. And of course, I know she had defense matrix, which he don't need that. Ruckus don't need that. But I just feel like just like kind of like that Diva mechanic feeling with Ruckus. If he had that in his kit, just how he plays, Ruckus would be a lot more dangerous in my
I can see
opinion.
that. Yeah.
But overall, like he's so far, like I said, he's literally the only tank in this list that I wrote down that he needs a straight up rework and he'd be more like Diva for Overwatch. But of course, like I said, this is my opinion. If you a Ruckus main, don't get mad. If you feel like I'm wrong, just write down a comment and say I'm wrong. It's all cool.
Mhm.
But just give me a loadout for Ruckus you feel like I should try out. Because like I said, at the end of the day, my opinion might change. It's just how I feel like Ruckus is right now. How I feel where I stand. But maybe when soon me and Sensei 2 play rank, things could change. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm not gonna play Ruckus in rank.
Right.
I'm not gonna play him. But I'm just saying, like, it might change later on how I feel about a character, depending if even Mojo might do some changes. Because they always change the character balances and stuff like that. They could change stuff.
Right.
So, but for me personally, how I feel right now, Ruckus just need rework outright, and I just feel like he's not that great. So
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
he's an easy run through. I agree with you. I wouldn't say complete like
Oh, you got
rework, but
I think your TV kind of running in the background a little bit.
can you hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Okay, I was saying, yeah, I agree. I wouldn't say like a complete like rework, but I definitely would say kind of like what you were saying with the other tanks, like a just kind of like a upgrade to some of his stuff, like a buff to some of his abilities.
Oh,
Because
okay.
like he has some good potential, especially with like area damage. But like you said, I think he just needs a little bit of a buff.
More above. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, but yeah, me, I definitely fully disagree. I feel like he needs straight up rework.
Hey, fair. You play tank.
But like I said, but see, like this is good though. This is why I want when we were doing the videos. This is why I want it right here. So no, you're good. But me personally, bro, I had to disagree. I feel like he needs straight up rework. But of course, I know even though you don't play tank like that, I mean, like I do, but I would say that at least you have a good sense of where I'm talking about though. Because I mean,
Yeah,
you
I'm
win
with you.
against Ruckus, so I get where you coming from.
Oh
But
yeah,
for
the Ruckus, you can burn through Ruckus
yeah,
quick. Like,
but for me, I just feel like he just don't provide nothing for the team. Like I feel like if you pick Ruckus, you kind of a throw pick, unless you understand how to play the character well enough to make sense of what you're trying to do, or you maybe have like a double take or something like that. But I just feel like he just needs a straight up rework. Like, because bro, his talents to me, it sucks compared to other takes. It need to be reworked. Like literally get some
mhm.
better. Like I feel like okay, if you're not gonna go the diva route, like mechanic wise, at least the bare minimum, change the talents completely. Give him better talents, because I feel like they kind of garbage in my opinion. They're not that great. You only got one good talent, is just feel like the emitter generator thing, like with his shield.
Right.
That's about it. Rockets don't do nothing. The third one is basically a throwaway. That should be his base kits. In my
I agree
personal
with
opinion.
that. Okay. I see the
Yeah.
point you're coming from. I see where you're
But
coming from.
woo, but I was like, I know that. I know. Gotta take a minute. Woo, because
Yeah,
that was a hot take. That was a hot take.
that
That
was.
was probably the biggest one I had to talk about, because
Hmm.
everybody else is just fine, because we almost done with this video.
How
With the
many more
tanks,
tanks do you have?
I got 3 more.
Two more.
Yeah,
Okay.
but next tank we're gonna talk about real quick is my boy Terminus, the Rock
Mm-hmm.
Man, so the Hercules in this
Hercules.
release.
Hmm.
Overall, I can say about Terminus, for him to be the only melee tank in the game, solid. He really,
Hmm.
honestly, Terminus need no change. Terminus is literally a sleeper tank. He's the tank that, because he's the only melee tank, you want him to be strong enough to take on most other tanks, because he's the only melee tank, but you don't want to buff him too much, because he's a sleeper. Like, if you buff this man too much, he'd be too OP. If you nerf him too
Hmm.
much, he's useless. He's in that middle
Hmm.
ground. So, overall, Terminus, no change. You got anything to say about Terminus?
Yeah, I would say just anything, if anything, because I played him a little bit. I would also I'll say just a little bit more mobility, maybe. But it's different ways you can go about mobility. But overall, I think for him to be the only melee tank, solid. Agree. I wouldn't do too much with
Uh,
him.
look,
You don't want to risk it.
I disagree with the mobility because the reason why they did it like that because they got a card that I use that I maxed out for mobility
Mm,
because trust me, he's already dangerous enough how he is. So you give him mobility, you kind of added more to the power that he need to counter.
he is powerful.
You kind of got to counter Terminus a little bit. You don't want to make him too powerful because
That's true too.
he can get up there, but overall he's solid. Okay, cool.
That's
Uh,
true.
all right, the next tank. Like, don't worry, we almost done. Just two more, and
Oh
then
no,
we
you
done.
good, you good.
Yep. All right. Okay, so the next tank we're gonna talk about is Torvald.
Ooh.
Torvald, the man with the
Mm-hmm.
gauntlet. It's
Mm-hmm.
working. He do the knockback, push everybody out the ring.
Yeah.
That guy, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, actually,
Oh, annoying.
but you could be surprised at my take on this one. You could be surprised, bro.
Okay,
You could be
let's hear it.
surprised. So with Torvald. So for Torvald, y'all, what I have for Torvald is he needs a slight nerf. Yes, y'all, my first nerf out of all the tanks. He needs a slight nerf for his
Hmm.
nullify ability, and overall, no change. For him, like as a character, he's fine how he is. He needs a slight nerf for his nullify. The reason why I want to say he needs a slight nerf for the nullify, because nullify is his most dangerous ability he has in his own kit. Of course, his ultimate is still strong too, but his ultimate is not the problem because the ultimate really
Mm-hmm.
it's just a knockback. It's just to push you away more so than damage.
True. True.
Nullify is the most dangerous ability he has because that is literally stops you to use your abilities and slows you down.
So annoying.
And that's why everybody, for the most part, kind of hates Torvald. But
And it deals 800 damage
yeah,
over 2 seconds.
yeah. So and then he got his reload speed just doing using like the arm gauntlet to keep himself alive. And on top of that, he can put a shield on his teammates. This man is
True.
solid. He's fine how he is. He don't need to be buff, but he do need a slight nerf for his nullify because that is his strongest ability and it is annoying. So if they nerf
I
it down,
agree
if
with
they
that.
nerf it down a little bit, because like I said, it does a lot on you, and that's why he can be very annoying. So if they turn it down to a notch, she's fine.
Yeah, at least like decrease the damage a little bit. I
Yeah.
agree with you on that.
Okay, all right. Now this one gonna be quick, but you already know who this last character, the last tank. That I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I don't play like that. It's a good reason why I don't play this character like for tank. This is the only tank in the game I really don't play much at all. It's
Mm.
Yagorath, the worm,
Mm-hmm.
the worm character, the
Mm-hmm.
biggest character in the freaking tank role or character in the game.
The Devourer.
Yep, Yagorath. So honestly, y'all, for Yagorath, all the thing I can really say about Yagorath is she needs quality of life. Really, why I say she needs quality of her life because everything. Look, her abilities, talent, all that stuff. Even though I haven't dug too much deep into the character because I haven't played the character like that. Only thing Yagorath needs is just movement. Y'all, then what I mean by just movement, not her role that she does as her movement. No, her movement when she just stands there and can't move at all, she need to be able to move. You know why she need to be able to
Mm-hmm.
move? Because she looked like a snake. If y'all see close to her body, she got like a tail, whatever. She could move
Mm-hmm.
around like a snake, like slither around. Like I don't know why they did her like that in my personal opinion.
Orochimaru.
No, I mean I'm being that serious. It don't gotta be because
Mm-hmm.
look, she is a big character, so I mean I feel like of course don't make it so she moves too fast, but
Right.
I feel like you have no business to make her like unable to move unless you do a freaking
Mm-hmm.
roll. Because to me, the way I see Yagorath, I usually see her like kind of like a wrecking ball. Wrecking ball still can move around, but when he goes to ball form, that's he move the fastest. Yagorath should be able to do the same thing. Like when she go to her ball form, of course that's where you move the fastest. But her base form when she out the ball, she should be able to move around a little bit because it's like the only reason why you're a player to play objective, just to play point. That to me, that's not fun.
Mm.
Her ability she have is solid in my personal opinion. I feel like if they gave her that movement, just regular movement alone, Yagorath can be very dangerous. And I feel like she is dangerous, but because of her limitation of what she could do, that's why not a lot of people play her. or people who play are kind of throw player because they don't know how to play her.
Yeah.
Because you got to know what you're doing. And
That's
overall,
true.
but overall, like like that's pretty much it. That's how I feel like Yagorath, quality of life, and that's pretty much it. Anything else you gotta say
Hmm.
since that too
I
before we
would
call it
say
video?
like I was gonna say actually, yeah, I agree to that point. Like you said, like if like give her some mobility even when she's outside of her role, but decrease the area damage spread from like her like toxic like her, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like decrease the spread of it, like how much area it covers,
Mm-hmm.
and swap that out with her being a little mobile, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I agree with you 100%.
Okay.
Hmm.
But all right, y'all, that is my list of the tanks for this part one video of Paladins Bros Talk. Like I said, I appreciate the boys stay tuned, join in. Y'all can see this black bed. And bro, do you got any news to tell the fans about that they should be excited about? Or you feel like you want to wait
All
a
I'm
little
gonna
bit?
say is just keep checking in, keep tuning in to my man's 9197 stream. You know, get him up to 50 followers, but keep an eye out because I am gonna actually be sharing some news soon. Not gonna get too much into it yet because I
Okay.
want to make sure I get the groundwork done. But stay tuned because something big is coming.
Yes, on this big cover, y'all. So you be careful right
Hmm.
there. And no Jody, just let y'all know.
Yo, Jody.
But yeah, y'all. But like I said, that's it for the tanks. Wherever we get around to part two, by the time y'all watching this video, since they two gonna do all the talking, so it's gonna be fun. But he said he got his notes ready, and when we get ready for the Paladins Bros part two video of this episode one, just look out for it.
Hmm.
But all right,
Hmm.
guys, I love y'all. Peace. 9197 and stay tuned. We are out.
Out.